Right. That was completely unnecessary, but we did it, and I'm proud. I'm proud to have done it. Anyway, hello there, Spunker. In this video, my friend, I'm going to be talking about how to know when you are ready for a girlfriend. So picture this, right? I'm, a 20-year-old, unconfident, skinny virgin. Like literally, a skinny little virgin. I'm a student in my second year of university, and, I'm completely obsessed with this idea of getting a girl to have sex with me and potentially become my girlfriend. Quite frankly, I can no longer handle seeing my mates getting into relationships and having sex with different girls every single week when I'm just sat here all alone, and I can no longer handle my mates taking the absolute piss out of me for not doing anything with a girl. And so I had come to this decision that the only way that I would achieve some sort of happiness and gain some kind of respect from my mates was if I had a girl. And that was the first mistake that I made. That mistake being that I thought just getting a girl would automatically make me happy, which is probably what you might be thinking right now. You probably think that getting a girlfriend will be the answer to all of your problems, or maybe you're in denial about that and you're telling yourself that no, it won't be the answer to my problems, but really deep down you think it might be. Well, let me tell you, from my experiences, man, this is not how it works. It's just not how it works. And I learned that what you truly want to be thinking is, if I can truly be happy in myself, this is what will get me a girl. And until you're able to achieve that, and until you're fully confident and you're fulfilled with your own life as a young man, you won't be getting into any relationship with a girl. Or should I say, you won't be getting into any healthy relationship with a girl. Because I learned that the more you emphasize the importance of getting a girlfriend, and the more that you rely on this idea of having a girlfriend for your source of happiness, the less happy that you actually are on the inside. And mate, this leads to a lot of problems, man. So for me, for example, I started dating this girl way back in uni, and looking back now, I realized that I literally used to spend so much of my time with her just so that I could feel, some sort of worth, I guess. I was going through a stage of my life at uni where, I was getting pissed up drunk nearly every night, and, I was barely even handing in my university assignments. And so I kind of relied on her for my source of happiness a little bit. I'd go back to her place after finishing my shift at work, because at the time I had a part-time job in a supermarket, and I'd just kind of go there to lay in bed with her and just kind of tell her all the issues that I was having with my life. And so she almost became this kind of therapist for me. And honestly, I feel really bad about that, because I'm not going to say your name. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And yeah, I'm actually really sorry about that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. I should have made sure that I was happy and content and confident in myself before I ever tried to entertain and even maintain a healthy relationship with you. And I only realized that now. So yeah, I'm sorry if you're watching this. But yeah, anyway, man, of course, things didn't work out there. And it wasn't until that I started doing the things that I'm about to share with you now that I was actually able to kind of sort myself out, and eventually meet this new girl who, really liked me, and I liked her, and we were on a similar wavelength with each other, and our energies matched, and whatever you want to say. Now, if you can relate to that story that I've just told you, I'm assuming that you're probably not ready for a girlfriend, and that might not at least I can talk, that might not necessarily be the case, but based on what I experienced and that story that I just told you, what I'm about to tell you is what I would say you need to be able to do before you should even think about getting into any kind of relationship with a girl. Okay, so first of all, you need to know who the fuck you are, man. Seriously, you need to know who the fuck you are. Just think, who do you want to be when you're older? Who do you want to say you were when you're 60 years old and 70 years old and you're talking to your grandkids? What do you want to tell them about the life that you lived? Do you want them to be proud of you? Do you want them to look up at you and think, holy shit, my granddad was a fucking absolute beast? Or do you want them to think, oh, he was a pussy? No, you don't. You want them to think, wow, I want to be like my granddad, right? So just put that into perspective. Know who the fuck you are. What career do you want to have? What do you see yourself doing for the next 40 years? You know, who do you see yourself being? Really take some time to consider that and think about what makes your heart like literally beat like mad just at the thought of who you want to be. Like, what makes the hairs on your arms stand up? If you could do anything in life, what would it be? Know who the fuck you are, okay? Because once you've figured this shit out, this is when you can actually begin the process of actually heading towards that direction. Once you know what you want, that's when you can start taking the steps to get there. You know, you want to show that you mean business. Literally show that you mean business. Don't tell people about it, you know, because what you want is to let the results speak for themselves. This is going to have such a massive impact on, you know, your life and even the people around you once they can see what you're doing and that it's working, you know. You don't want to be that guy who's just known as the flake, you know, the guy that's all talk, no action. Because 99% of men are like that. You don't want to be like that. If you really want to have a girlfriend, you know, and you want to have a solid relationship with a girl, you have to have these foundations set in place, because otherwise it's going to lead to so many problems. You actually just look at the amount of divorce rates that there are now, and it's like the highest percentage ever for divorce rates, and it's because most men don't know who the fuck they are, man. That's the truth, right? They get taken down this pathway, they follow the script of what they were told to do when they were, you know, a young boy, and they followed that script throughout their whole life. And if you do that, you'll end up exactly like them, you know. So don't follow the crowd. Don't be that guy who's known as the flake. Don't be all talk, no action. Let the results fucking speak for themselves, man. Okay, and the second thing you want to do is learn how to control your emotions, okay? Because as men, we tend to thrive when we base our decisions off of logic as opposed to off of our emotions. And if we aren't able to control our emotions, for example, if we can't control our anger, if we can't control our sadness or anxiety, our decision making and our minds tend to go a little bit skewed. You know, we can't think straight, we start making dumb decisions. By the way, I'm not saying you can never be emotional as a man, because obviously we're all human, shit happens, you are allowed to cry, you know, but it's about having ways of being able to bring yourself back to a level-headed state and to a state where you're able to think logically again, okay? And the best ways that I've found throughout, you know, my 26 years of living is that I can do this the best when I do these three things. And that is boxing, that's conscious breathing, and that's brain dumping. So when you get punched in the face at boxing and you're fighting another man, there is nothing else that can ground you and bring you back to the planet Earth, right? Because I'm telling you now, it awakens you, man. It really does. It's probably one of the best benefits that you get from boxing is actually the mindset that it develops for you. And, you know, if you don't want to get punched in the face, too bad, because I really think you need to do it. The character it develops for you is unbelievable. But a good alternative, or I'd actually say a good supplement that you can add in addition to boxing, is conscious breathing. So this just means that you take some time every single day to really think about your breathing. It's literally that simple. It's in the words, conscious breathing. So you will literally think about your breath. You think about nothing else other than your breath. Forget about the past. Don't think about the future. You think about now. What is happening now? Who am I now? And you focus on your breath. And I talked about this actually in my previous video, where I talked about, I think the title of the video was Stare at a Wall or something like that. And I was talking about how that actually works. And that's because you're incorporating this thing called conscious breathing into it, and you're thinking about your breathing. You're not thinking about anything else. You're thinking about the present moment. And my third option, which I also think you should supplement it with boxing and conscious breathing, is brain dumping. And this is essentially where, you know, you can do this in two different ways, actually. The first way is the traditional method of journaling, where you write in a book and you basically write down all of the thoughts that you currently have into a book. And this allows your mind to just completely empty itself from the bullshit thoughts And another way that you can do it, which is actually quicker, is actually by recording yourself. So you can do this on video, you can do it on audio. You don't actually have to post it anywhere. It's not about posting it on social media. You can keep it just for your own personal records. But essentially, you can, get your phone just like this, right? Or like this, however you want to hold it, and just record yourself talking into it. Just literally talk about what's on your mind. Get all of that bullshit out of your mind. And this is going to really just allow you to learn how to control those emotions, man. Like I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that, on YouTube. I think that's absolutely critical, and it literally changes so much about how I feel about my day. And at the end of the day, once you're able to do all these things and you're truly fulfilled as a man, then by all means, get yourself out there and have some fun, man. Like, go and find that girl. Go and speak to her, Have some fun with it. I don't buy into all of this like bullshit, like red pill stuff about you needing to spend your whole 20s hustling away and then by the age of 30 you can hopefully find someone and settle down with them. Like, nah, mate, like, that's cringe. That's cringe as fuck. Don't listen to that bullshit. This has nothing to do with age, and it has everything to do with experience and who you currently are as a man, okay? Now, on a side note quickly, if you're someone that's, been going to the gym and you are trying to gain some muscle and, you haven't been seeing the results that you want to see as quickly as you have been, then I would seriously suggest you get my free diet plan from the description. I know I talk about it a lot if you watch these videos of mine, but trust me, this is going to seriously change your life if you pay attention and actually follow the foods that I give you. Like, trust me, mate, all right? Okay, I think that wraps it up for today. Believe you can, my friend, and you're more than halfway there.